Does your to-do list contain the items that feed your future 5-year goal? If not, are you one of those people that take on too many things, or are too busy to do everything you want to do, or are just too stretched so thin that you can't do anything well? If you said yes to any one of those things, then this book, The One Thing by Gary Keller, is for you. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Sagar Soni, and on this channel we talk about the books that we like, take away actionable techniques and implement them in our day-to-day life that could help us live in a more meaningful way. If this interests you, consider subscribing. Now don't get me wrong, just from the first few chapters alone, you can understand the message that Gary wants to send. It's simple. If you chase two rabbits, you will not catch either one. That's it. That's what this book is about. Another 250-page self-help book about a concept that can be summarized into one point. Yes, most or if not the entire book drills on the same concept, focusing on the one thing. The entire book is surrounding this one concept and asking the focusing question, what's the one thing that I can do such that by doing it, everything else will become easier or unnecessary? This book is divided into three parts: the lies we believe, the truth that we should believe, and the formula for extraordinary results. But this can be summarized into the following takeaways: the domino effect, the Pareto principle, and the 3 P's of success. The domino effect talks about how we have one big goal that we aim for. For example, my someday goal is to build a passive income stream. Based on that, what's the one thing I can do in the next 5 years? Well, I can build a YouTube channel that I'm doing right now. Based on the 5-year goal, what's the one thing I need to do for 1 year? I can work on one video every 10 days for the entire year and improve upon it with each product. And you can break this down further to monthly, weekly, and the daily one thing. My daily one thing has been set based on the video that I'm creating. It changes from writing a script, shooting a video, shooting B-roll footage, marketing on different social media platforms, etc., etc. All we need to do is focus on today's one thing and benefit from the domino effect. Because you working on today's one thing will eventually topple extraordinary barriers 5 years down the line. I have learned this over time that success builds on success. When you see somebody with a lot of knowledge or skills, you understand that they learned it over time, they developed it over time. The key is over time. Success is built sequentially. Just understanding that, I have accepted to be sucky today so that I can see extraordinary results 5 years down the line. Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 principle, it says that the minority of your effort leads to the majority of your results. 20% of your customers account for 80% of your profits. 20% of your investments account for 80% of your returns. 20% of your habits result in 80% of your success. To utilize this in our goals, we must look at our to-do list. We must see which of the items is going to result in 80% of the results. The idea is that not everything is going to matter on your list. You need to learn to say no to a lot of things on your priority list. And don't even bother with multitasking. It's a term that was popularized when computers were invented. And because they are good at it, employees started putting that on their resumes. Multitasking honestly is the perfect recipe for distraction. Just remember the main question we are trying to answer here. What's the one thing that I can do such that by doing it, everything else will become easier or unnecessary? So we have to see what's unnecessary on our to-do list and just avoid that. And once you have done that, Gary recommends that you take your to-do list and carve it down even further. Take the 20% off the 20% off the 20% until you have gotten it down to the vital one. And lastly, the 3 P's of success. The 3 P's are purpose, priority, and productivity. Purpose is the straightest path to power and the ultimate source of personal growth and strength. The prescription for extraordinary results is knowing what matters to you the most in life. Purpose helps you when things don't go your way. Life gets tough sometimes and there's no way around it. If you aim high enough and stick with your goals long enough, tough times are inevitable. But that's okay. Knowing your why gives you the motivation and strength to stick to your goal. Purpose can be diluted down to one question too. Simply think of it as the one thing that you want your life to be about more than anything else. And it could be anything. I want to be a teacher, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to be an engineer, I want to be an entrepreneur. Basically, purpose gives us the direction that we need. But purpose on its own is not that powerful. And that takes me to the next P, priority. A purpose is good, but without priority, it's powerless. Once we know our purpose, we have a path. But that path is full of distractions. We need to prioritize which steps we need to take to get us closer to our goal. We live with purpose and we know where we want to go. We live with priority and we will know what to do to get there. And this priority is set by using the same domino effect that I mentioned earlier. It is important to understand that future purpose must connect to present priorities. Gary puts it nicely in one line: connect today to all your tomorrows. It matters. And the last P is productivity. Once we know our purpose and we lay out our priorities, now we need to aim to execute them without distractions. But we are always doing something, working, playing, sleeping, watching TV, eating, you name it. But our priorities should help us guide what we need to do right now that takes us to our purpose. And in the space of productivity, our friend Gary tells us only one technique to use, and that is time blocking. Not only time blocking our one thing, but protecting our blocked time. And we do that by going to our calendar and block off a time that can be utilized undisturbed. If it is a regular thing, block off the time every single day. Once we have done our one thing for the day, we can devote the rest of the time to everything else. But to make things even simpler, see if you can perform your one thing first thing in the morning. That's because there is a lie that we tend to believe that willpower is on will call. But it's not. Willpower is not just a matter of discipline. It depletes over time. With enough decisions in the day, our energy is draining and our will to do the important task decreases. You can even ensure that in your block time, no one is allowed to disturb you. Gary calls it the bunker, where no phone, no work email, no co-workers walking by your work desk is allowed. At first, your colleagues will interrupt you, but after some time, they will understand that you are just not available. You are not even allowed to get up for water or coffee. Whatever you need, keep it with you before your time starts. There's way more in this book that I haven't even touched on. There are so many examples for all the points that I mentioned. In addition, there are topics on which Gary goes in great depth for, like the 4 thieves of productivity, the lie of a balanced life, the 3 commitments to your one thing, and many, many more. I would highly recommend that you pick up this book for yourself. This was actually one of the top 10 books I read in 2021. I made a video of that too if you want to check it out. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Cheers.